Cool. I believe we are live. Just the settings quickly. Cool beans. Boom. Right. Welcome to a another live stream, guys, where I constantly adjust my headphones. Um. mm, yeah, we'll see what happens today. I've got um, I've got a friend coming at 11 to do some recording here at the studio. So yeah. So we'll try to keep it under an hour today. So I can go answer the door. um, cool beans. So yeah, welcome to the live stream. If you're watching live, say hi in the chat. And yeah, maybe I'll get my ukulele out and we'll do some tunes at some point. It's been a crazy week, man. Been doing lots of recording this week, lots and lots of recording, and yeah, we were doing the podcast this week. We had a third person on the podcast, which was great. Really changed the dynamic of the podcast, so I was really happy about that. Um, and yeah, just doing lots of ukulele stuff at the moment. Been recording some songs with some friends, having more people come in the studio and put parts down. Because it's been me mostly for the past couple of months, just recording all the parts myself. So it's really cool to have collaborators. Yeah, man. So it's cool. And we've been gradually filling up the studio with more instruments. I don't know if you can see it over there. It's got its head poking out like a giraffe. We got, can I touch it? Boop, boop, boop. There you go. We've got an acoustic bass here now in the studio. And we've also got a fretless bass, and we've also got another electric guitar with some really cool pickups on it. So yeah, we're gradually filling up with more gear. My friends are very generous. They just tend to show up and bring stuff for the studio, which is really cool. So yeah, if you're watching along, say hi in the chat. Let's get a convo going, man. Mm, I decided I'm going cappuccino today and got an additional water because I always finish my cappuccino early, and then you just got to taste the cappuccino lurking around, and that's just distracting while you're trying to live stream. Mm. Yeah, man. What else has been going down? Been trying to get some more gigs off the ground. I did my first gig during coronavirus the other day. I played. Where did I play? I played in Salisbury. I played a venue called the Winchester Gate in Salisbury, which is a place I play two or three times a year. I play there a fair bit. The guy who runs the place, Rob's a really cool dude, and it's always a really good crowd and good cider on tap, so that helps as well. Um, I played there a couple weekends back, and it was really refreshing to play a show again. And I'm trying to figure some more stuff out because there's only a few music venues that I play regularly that have back garden areas. And so I'm trying to figure out, can I play in people's back gardens, and so keep putting out posts on Facebook being like, hey, do you have a back garden? Do you like my music? Well then, let's sort it out. It's that's the plan, to do a little back garden tour. um but yeah, I know limited people with back gardens who are willing to do this. So I'm trying to figure it out at the moment, because eventually it's going to get cold, right? I mean, it's really hot here in England at the moment. I don't know where you guys are. I don't know if it's cool or whether it's warm where you are, but it is stinking hot here right now. And yeah, but I know eventually autumn's going to come around. It's going to get cool. I found out I might be going back to work kind of almost next month. Maybe we're gonna start doing the sort of overtime bits, which is sort of like Monday evenings where we go and run music sessions. So might get to do those next month. Maybe not. We're seeing what happens. Um, so yeah, just keep doing things in the studio, man. I'm thinking about getting some lighting put up in the studio because I've got the big sort of LED strip going along the top, which is really harsh. And I'm thinking about getting fairy lights to go around the acoustic foam. I think that'd be pretty cool if you turned off the main strip and then you just had LED lights lighting up the phone. I think that would be really cool. So I'm gonna aim to do that, because I really want to add some atmosphere, especially when I do the live streams. I want it to look really cool in here, because it is really cool, but with that light it just looks really harsh. So that's the aspiration at the moment. And I finally ordered some mixing speakers, so hopefully my mixes will be really good come September, because they're taking forever to arrive. I got them off that site Thomann, or I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's based in Europe somewhere. Ordered some speakers from there. So gonna have those arrive. Got these little Yamaha speakers that everyone's been telling me to get since I announced I was going to build a studio. So looking forward to having those. That's going to be fun. Yummy. I love cappuccino. What's going on, guys? We've got a couple of people watching along. Say hi in the chat. Let's see what's going down. Trying to finish off some songs at the moment. Been writing some songs with my friend Tom, and we've got a song that we're going to release in the next few weeks. That's kind of about lockdown, kind of about the quarantine, and about the things that we used to, the things that we used to do that used to fill our lives that we've not been able to do. And so, I've written a song about that, about lockdown, and I'm going to, hopefully release that in a few weeks. We've got to record a few more bits, but we're getting close, getting really close. It's really exciting having someone else put down bass lines. My friend Tom, he's like a bass wizard. So that sounds really cool. I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you guys in the next few weeks. What else is going down? I love cappuccino. Right. Man. I'm getting a bit bored of lockdown, I must say. Like, I feel like I've used my time really well. Doing all the stuff in here. I've made, I don't know, about 50 videos since mid-March, on YouTube. So I've made a lot, and I'm proud of all of them. Even the ones where I go, oh, that could be better. Still proud of them. But I'm at a point where I'm like, I really want to go back to the cinema. I really want to gig again. I want to do the normal things again. So this Before the Lockdown song that we're doing is kind of, very much about that. Very much about those kind of feelings. Man. So we've got a few people watching along. Say hi if you're watching along. Let's get a conversation going, man. I can just rattle on for hours, but it'd be lovely to talk to you guys. So what else, man? Maybe I'll grab my guitar and strum along, see what happens. Maybe I'll play you this song. Before the lockdown, I would play all these places, and I'd rock out on my guitar to each sea of faces. Before lockdown, I was a different me. Before the lockdown, I would go to the movies, and I'd fall asleep in bed once, and I'd cry at once that moved me. Before lockdown, I was a different me. Oh yeah. Oh, any day now, any day now, I'll be free to do what makes me feel like me. Before the lockdown, I would go out with girls, and I would take them places here and around the world. Before the lockdown, I was a different me. Yeah. before the lockdown, the possibilities. Oh yeah. Before the lockdown, I would take for granted all the friends I've made and all the adventures I'd had before lockdown. I was a different me. Yeah. Before the lockdown, I would go with my friends down to the London Stone Pit, start our weekend. Before the lockdown, oh, I was a different me. I was a different me. I was a different me. Back when I was free. There we go. Cool. That's the song I've been working on. I fluffed one on the lines, but that's okay. I've not performed it in front of anyone yet, so acceptable. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I very nearly bought a piano for the studio this week. I've been looking on Gumtree, and I'm looking at instruments for sale. I'm trying to see if anyone's desperately trying to sell an instrument because lockdown, people need money. And I found that a whole bunch of people are selling pianos for nothing, just giving them away for free. You just need to go collect them. And so I'm thinking about getting a piano to go just like right here in the studio. I think would be really, really cool. Of course, once you have a piano, you kind of have it. Like you have to take care of it. You got to keep it tuned. And it's quite hot at the moment. So if I got someone in to tune it, it would, when weather got cold again, I don't know if it would distort it at all. So yeah, but excited about the prospect. And like literally, pianos being sold for nothing. I mean, but it's not really even being sold if they're not asking for anything, is it? So yeah, thinking about getting a piano to go there, which would just be awesome. Who doesn't want a big old piano in the studio? Hey Joe, how you doing? You all right? What's cracking? Yeah, man. Definitely, I think piano is the right way to go. I mean, getting like a proper like really good keyboards, that's also an aspiration. I'd love to get one of those, but actually the sound of acoustic instruments in here is really cool. So having a proper acoustic piano would be great. What's Joe saying? It's baking here in France, 40 degrees yesterday. How's the weather in the UK? Oh, Joe, the weather here is really hot, like 36 up to like 40. I think like that's what we've got at the moment. It's really, really, really hot here in the UK. Yeah, just in the evening, me and my friend went down to the river and just hanging out, and just it was like 6 or 7 in the evening, and it was just baking. It was so hot still, and it was one of those really dry heats, So yeah, so like it's really hot here, but yeah, crikey. What's Joe saying, mate? That's crazy. You can't gig in heat like that. Yeah, yeah. It's I could definitely gig in it. I'll gig in whatever heat I could right now, just so I can gig. So, but yeah, you would melt on stage. I've played some very hot gigs before, um, you know, but it's kind of part of the experience. It's part of the gig. You kind of, when you think back to those gigs, you remember the sense memory. You remember it being just the swelter, don't you? You just remember it being just massively, massively hot. Yeah, I miss gigs like that. Festival gigs like that are great when you're absolutely boiling on stage, but you're playing a really big stage and there's lots of people. It's the best. I generally like being hot. I don't mind being hot. I know a lot of English people who are just like, I don't like the heat. I like it when it's cold, and I don't understand people like that because I like hot beer gardens, and I like the fact that when I wake up and look out the window here at the moment, it kind of feels like Spain or something because it's just like blue skies and it's blazing hot and there's sort of like there's a cool atmosphere. Um, yeah, I love the heat, man. Not looking forward to it being cold. Joe, what you saying? Do you remember that really hot summer we had a couple of years ago? Did gigs most weekends that summer, and I used to swelter and fry in the drums, but it was great fun. Mostly festivals. That's cool. Yeah, like it's been a few hot summers, hasn't there? Last summer, I remember being particularly hot, especially in July. July being really hot, and the end of June, and also kind of beginning of August. August last year was a bit rainy, I remember, but still kind of warm. Trying to go cast my mind back to 2018. Was 2018 particularly hot? I went on tour in 2018. Went on tour with my bands. We played all over the shop. Where did we go? We did in 2 weeks. We did what do we do? Let me remember. Yeah, okay. So we did Guildford. We started off at the open mics in Guildford. Nice friendly way to start. Then we played Winchester. Then we played Staines. No. Then we played Southampton. So Guildford, Winchester, Southampton, which was the probably the best night of the tour. Then we did Staines. Then we did Portsmouth, and then the following week we did Bristol, Manchester, Newcastle, Edinburgh. Was supposed to play Glasgow, but the people putting it on just stopped contacting us, so we just didn't bother to go. We just went and chilled out at the Airbnb for a night after playing all these previous ones in a row. So yes, we were going to play Glasgow instead. We just chilled, and then we did Coventry, Derby, then Birmingham in a row. It was pretty nuts. And then we had a few days off, and then we played Victorious Festival in Portsmouth. We played that in the daytime. We played one of the smaller stages. Then the evening we played at the White Hart and Basingstoke, which is kind of like a homecoming tour, like that whole Winchester, Southampton, Basingstoke area. I've played there a lot, have friends there, have fans there. So those were good shows to sort of start and end on, and Guildford as well. But we made lots of cool new friends on that tour. We made friends in Birmingham and Coventry and Derby. So yeah, the Midlands ones especially. The ones up north were interesting. Bristol was kind of cool. Edinburgh was just a waste of time. And obviously Glasgow didn't happen. But yeah, Staines was a bit of a disaster, but that was my fault. But we forget about that one. We don't talk about that one. Yeah. So that was a pretty fun tour. I look forward to doing stuff like that again. I've done some really crazy ones in the past few years. We just do night after night, and you're just exhausted, and it's a real test of stamina. Joe, yes, it was 2018 when we had that massive heat wave. Yeah, it was. Yeah, casting my mind back to 2018. Yeah, it was pretty hot, wasn't it? It was pretty hot. Yeah, played a lot of gigs that year. Played some quirky gigs that year. Joe, that tour sounds epic. What a tour. Yeah, that was a good one. It was more than the shows we did in 2017, where we did a little tour. When we released the second album, we did 3 weeks, and we did it in blocks around the weekend where people were just more available. So we started off, and we played. I think we played Addleston, and we played Croydon, and I think Southampton, maybe. I think we played that. And then we went out on the road and we did Birmingham, Leeds, Edinburgh, and then we played Glasgow that year. And then the following week I think we just did 2 shows. I think we did Basingstoke and Winchester, or Guildford, somewhere else. I can't remember. Going back to 2017, it's all blur. 2016, the tour I did there was pretty cool. I was touring with a guy called Danny Eagle. He booked all the shows. He was doing a month-long tour around the country, and he got me on the bill for all the shows. And so I could drive him around essentially. And we played a crazy one. We started off so we did Swindon, then Southampton, where I met some awesome people. Yeah, that Southampton show was great. Made some great fans there. Then we played Crawley, random place, and then the next day we played Winchester in the afternoon. Then we played Hackney in the evening, and no one was there because it was Eurovision. Eurovision was on, and then we played Leeds the next day, so that was quite a big drive. And then the following day, we played Bristol, where I had a bit of a breakdown because I hadn't slept properly. We've been sleeping in the car, long driving, like it was really taking a toll on me. Not fun. So yeah, we did Bristol, and then we were going to do Cardiff, but we had to cancel that one because I had to go back to work the following day. So went back to work, had a day off, which was good, needed that. But then we did Birmingham. Then we did Nottingham, and then we came back down. We played Portsmouth, and then we came up and we did Lutterworth, which is like, where's Lutterworth? Really random. We played a curry house. I just like these gigs. Some of these gigs were so random. Yet we played this curry house, in this curry house in Lutterworth, which is near Leicester. Thankfully, we had somewhere nice to stay afterwards. And met some cool people there. And then after Lutterworth, where did we play the day after that? We played Bath. It's my first gig in Bath. I haven't played Bath since, but I can say I've played Bath. So we did that, and then we came home. So that was a pretty epic one as well. And exhausting beyond belief. I just realized, being, doing the kind of mad performance I do, plus being the driver, the guy driving the tour bus, essentially, like, just does not work. And so on later tours, I did less driving. Didn't do any touring last year. I mean, I played some shows, but I didn't really like go out on the road and stay out on the road for a while. Because I didn't really have a band last year, and it's kind of, I just couldn't imagine going out by myself. I imagine it'd be really lonely and really hard, when problems come up, you've just got to solve it yourself. And so I think that freaked me out a bit. If I can find someone to go on tour with me next year, that would be great. If we go back to normality next year, that is, with no idea what's going to happen still. What it is. But I love touring, man. Touring's a lot of fun. And they say it's not an adventure till something goes wrong. Something always goes wrong on the tour for me. Whether it's you get into an argument with someone, or you run out of money, or something happens to the car, something really bad. Oh man, I remember back in 2017, after we did that Scottish leg, my car just kind of conked out on the M3 just outside of Basingstoke. It was awful. And thankfully we moved some gear around in the boot of the car, and we were able to get back to Winchester. But the car was in a sorry state. The brakes weren't working too well on that drive back, so that was a bit sketchy. And so the car had to go into the shop to get some repairs. And I didn't have my car for the next week and a bit, so that was that sucked. But we even though I didn't have the car, we still managed to do those next shows. But I remember when we pulled off that hard shoulder just outside of Basingstoke, we were hanging out on the verge, and I was wearing shorts, and my legs got all stung when I went for a pee, and so for the next week I didn't have a car, and my legs were all stung, and I had to walk to work, which is a really long way. And so I had to wear like jeans for that job. I was teaching ukulele in like primary schools, and so I had to walk half an hour to 40 minutes to my job, and my legs, which were all stung, were just getting rubbed by these jeans. And by the time I got there, I just wanted to cry. It was just that was an awful day. Never again. This is why having money for an Uber is good. Man. So yeah, touring. It's cool. Would love to go play Europe. Actually, that's a big thing. We were originally going to go play Germany last year. That was the plan. We were going to book that. We were going to go. We were going to do it. But it just didn't happen in the end. It was really just, yeah, it's really hard keeping a band together. Man, and I just don't think I could book a tour of Germany myself. I'm really bad at all the admin stuff. You know, most of the gigs I did last year were from people offering me shows. I think I maybe once put up my hand and say, "Hey, can I have a show?" Once or twice. You know, for the most part, people offering me stuff, and I got into that rhythm. And then when people stopped offering me stuff, I was like, "Oh, I guess I got to actually like do some work again." Because back in 2014, I played 100 shows, and every one of those shows was me just sending emails, doing stuff. And by the end of it, I was exhausted. And so just after that, I was like, right now, people can ask me to do shows, you know. But yeah, that never lasts. It always dries up eventually. Yeah, man. What's the time? 10:23. Yeah, I've got a friend coming at 11, and we're gonna be doing some recording. Gonna be doing some drums and some bass guitar. Yeah, we're doing a secret project at the moment that I'll hopefully reveal in time here and share with you guys. It'll be really cool. Yeah. Ow, my neck just clicked. That was annoying. Ouch. Who else is hanging out in the video, man? Say hello in the chat. Yeah. There you go. Water's just not as tasty as cappuccino, is it? It's not. But on days like this, you gotta keep hydrated. It's important. It's very warm outside. Oh, yummy water. Yeah. Yeah. But the first tour I did was back in 2015. That was pretty fun. I'd have probably the best lineup of my backing band, the Tokyo Sex Whales, that year. Tim, Gareth, and Antosh. It was a really, really solid lineup. Not that the other ones were bad. It's just like the chemistry, the musicianship, everything was just top of the line on that tour. And we did 10 nights in a row. Where did we start? We started in Southampton, a place called the Art House, which was pretty cool. So we played that one. Then we played Chelmsford, and I forgot my acoustic guitar. Believe that. We're about to go out on the road and have a great tour, and I left my acoustic guitar behind in Winchester. And it's not as like we were around the corner in Southampton. I could just go back and get it. No, we were in Essex. We were in Chelmsford. But alas, we went on stage at this place called Asylum. It was a packed night. We played well. People were singing along, and made a really cool fan there. And I think what was it? Yeah, two years later, got invited back to Chelmsford to play. And when we played that gig in Chelmsford originally, I didn't charge because I was still in the early days of like booking shows, like booking paid shows. So I wasn't asking people for money up front. So we didn't get paid for that show, but we met this guy who really liked the music. And so 2 years later, he was like, "Oh, can you bring the band back to Essex? Like my football club's got a stage and everything. We want a band to play." And he was like, "I'll pay you, plus I'll put you up in a hotel." So I got paid like a lot of money and put up in a hotel. And unfortunately, the band was just unavailable to do that date. But I took my brother along, which was interesting, and got him to do my merch stall, which he didn't love doing. But yeah, so I played this gig in Essex and then got put up in a really nice hotel afterwards. And yeah, that was just one of those gigs where you're just in this hotel and you're just like, I'm here, like it's paid for. I'm here because someone really liked my music. And that's one of those moments, that really just motivates you and keeps you going. And like times like right now, we're not getting to go out and play shows, and and the future doesn't look bright for live grassroots music. It just doesn't. So because of that, things can look dark, and it makes you want to go, oh, do I need to do something else? Do I need to try something else? Is the ride over? and it's probably not, I'm probably just like getting dramatic, but I think back to moments like that where I played that show and it wasn't like the best show ever. It was fun. It was a football club. I imagine if I played Oasis covers, they would have been happier with me, but I was playing most of my original music. But yeah, I had a good time. And yeah. Um, yeah, I just remember lying on a hotel bed afterwards, eating muffins and watching Futurama and going, I'm here because someone loved my music. And so, yeah, I always look back at that moment and go, yeah, that's one of those moments you got to keep fighting to get back to. Was really cool. Um, yeah, man. So that was that. Um, yeah, yeah, man. So I've got my friend coming down in a bit. So I think we're going to call it there for the live stream. I think we're going to call it there. Thank you everyone for watching, for being part of the live stream today. It's been cool. I am making a bit of a shorter one today. Just laid back because I've got lots of work to do today, and I don't want to cancel the live stream because that would be naughty. But it's been really cool hanging out with you guys. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Joe, for all your comments in the chat. And yeah, we'll be back same time next Saturday, 10 a.m. Come hang out with us. Maybe I'll play some songs. Maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. Anyway, stay awesome. Peace. See you next time. Bye bye.